It's all right. Call to order the City of Cannon Falls City Council meeting for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. If I could get a roll call, please.
Diane Johnson.
Here.
Zimmerman.
Here.
Chad Johnson.
Here.
Jepson.
Here.
Novak.
Here.
Cronenberger.
Here.
Montgomery.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If I could get a motion to approve tonight's amended agenda.
So moved.
Motion from Johnson,
Second.
second from Zimmerman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it is approved. That gets us to our public input. Public input is intended to afford the public an opportunity to address concerns to the City Council. The public input will be no longer than 30 minutes in total length. Each speaker will have no more than 3 minutes to speak. Speakers may address topics relevant to the governance of the city. Speakers must sign up in advance and must provide their name, address, and the topic they intend to address. Comments must be on topic, respectful, pertinent to city business, and adhere to the applicable data privacy rules. Any speaker that violates these rules will be asked to sit down, and if the speaker refuses to comply, they may be removed from the meeting. Speakers shall not address topics that are the subject of a public hearing. All such comments shall be made at the public hearing. The City Council will not generally act on issues raised by the public input, but may choose to schedule consideration of the item on a future agenda. Tonight, we've got David Alvestad to talk about the data center.
Mayor, whoa,
That's
sorry.
all right.
David Alvestad here, live on the north side of town. In light of the Cannon Falls Beacon article from last week, and it's been talked online and Facebook, other social media, but in light of that, I know there's other communication that's going to be coming up in the future, but what can we expect as far as a guideline of when are we going to know more? Because a lot of people in town are talking. You've got the subject of new wells. I asked Jed about it. Are there going to be additional residential building lots put near this thing? I understand the area is going to be in between 52 and the cement plant out here, that big open field. And that's the short version of my question. Just when can we, as a community, expect a guideline of how things are going to progress? And it's more of a city planning question probably, but I just wanted to ask. Thanks.
Yep, thank you. And just a reminder, public input is for your own comment, not question and answer, but happy to talk to you after the meeting's over. So, thanks, David. That gets us to our public hearing. So tonight, Resolution 2801, certifying unpaid utility charges that are collected with taxes. We will just open up the public hearing to start. If there's anybody in the crowd that would like to speak. Now is your chance. Public hearing, going once, going twice. Third and final call for the public hearing. All right, hearing nobody step forward, we will close the public hearing. Council, any discussion or questions about Resolution 2801, certifying unpaid utility charges collected by taxes? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion from Jepson, second from Johnson. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Gets us to tonight's consent agenda. Consent agenda items may be adopted under one motion as presented or may be removed for discussion and resolution as council business. I'll read them off. Item A, just and correct claims for the accounting period ending on January 29th, 2025. Item B, meeting minutes for the January 21st, 2025 City Council meeting. Item C, Resolution 2802, accepting a monetary donation of $1,000 from Great River Energy to the Fire Department. Item D, approve change order number 4 for John Birch Park. Item E, Resolution 2803, accepting a grant of $70,000 from the MPCA for PFAS Source and Identification Reduction Project. And item F, approving a 30-day extension to the Cannon Valley Fair Ordinance Letter. Is there anything the council would like to get pulled down?
D.
Item D, John Birch Park, will become council business A.
I'd like to pull down F.
Okay. D and F will become A and B. Hearing nothing else, I would accept a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda minus items D and F.
So moved.
A motion from Johnson, second by Nobach. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Gets us to city council business. What was D is now A. So the approved change order for John Birch Park. Lisa?
So is so whose responsibility is it besides the city and it not being done correctly the first time?
Is this question for Jed or for John?
What's your question? Like, what are you?
So they built it and now it's not stable?
No, so what happened is, when they were building the wall, they had, for the most part, the sand that was currently there was fantastic fill. But as they got to the south end, they encountered a bunch of rock and they couldn't reuse that as fill. And so they had to bring in better fill to do that.
Okay.
That's all that was, is,
It was done all then?
what's that?
That was all done?
Yeah, it's all done.
First time,
It's
okay. That
done.
was my
It's,
question.
nothing's being rebuilt.
Okay.
They were just finally, that just got added as part of the, this pay request. So,
Okay.
anyhow, but that's why they had to bring in, was it 95 yards of material, is because when they got to the south end, it was just rock and it wasn't the awesome sand that they had to work with before. So, but it is done. They are done. Other than turf restoration, the project, as far as the first base side, is all but finished. So,
Okay.
does that answer everything? Okay.
Okay. With that said, I would accept a motion to approve item A, which was D, the approving the change order number 4 for John Birch Park.
Motion.
Okay. Motion to approve from Lisa, second from Chad. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It carries. Gets us to city business, item B, which was F, and Chris, it's yours.
Yeah, I guess this is just, it's been a hot item, I guess, in previous discussions. So I think for transparency's sake, I don't have any issue with the proposed anything. It's just transparency's sake. I think we owe it to the public to kind of let them know what's going on or where we're at and how things evolve. So that's kind of what I want to cover, I guess.
So what has happened in the latest moments, based on the decisions of the Planning Commission and the confirmation of the council at the end of December, staff was left in a position of, we're on notice about violations and activities of the, fair board happening at the fairgrounds. The city attorney put together a letter compiling a list of those items, and that was sent to the fair board. And then in a response to, don't continue with those violations or, correct the things that we have in there. We, in order to, elicit a response, and then I was able to meet with the mayor and Councilmember Jepson and Ferlin Miller, the fair board president, yesterday to respond to that letter, and that's where we've come with the direction of provide us additional more time for meeting the terms of the ordinance and ability to discuss, how we can make sure that compliance is kept. I think the conversation was, went really well in terms of we see a path where we all, can come together and work together, where it's the city and the fair working together and, addressing the issues at hand regarding the nuisance things with noise of racing, but continuing to do activities that are at the fair.
Is there, and I guess just for transparency's sake, can we say what was in the letter to them in terms of like actions that we're asking them to meet, or?
Specifically, it was on the racing items, camping at the fairgrounds, because those two are not in compliance with the ordinances. And we did also address RV parking because of the nature of what the zoning is there currently. There's a limitation to that they were exceeding. However, we recognize that has been a longstanding activity that they've had. We did get some clarity on camping, that there's some allowable camping activities when they are associated with the event holders. But racing was certainly a big component of previously what we had. But those were the three critical items that were addressed in the letter.
Okay. And as I understand it, they were directed to pull down any references to autocross or demo derby as part of that too, or something from their website.
I mean, that was, in terms of compliance to the letter, I mean, we have the extension, but that was, the timing of them were not that direct. I mean, it wasn't that we saw the posts and then we sent the letter. We
Right.
were working on the letter well in advance of that, and they just happened to go out in sequence. But it's certainly a point of, that would contradict the order of the letter.
Okay. Yep. Like I said, I have no issues with it. I'll even motion to approve it. I just wanted transparency, I guess. So.
Any other questions or comments from the council? There is a motion on board from Chris, if I can get a second.
Second.
Second from Diane. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That gets us to reports. Jed?
So I'm going to beat Jeff to it. There's a chance of snow this week. Just a reminder, if there is snow, please stay off the streets so we can get the streets plowed. So
All right, thank
that
you.
is all I have. Thank you.
Nicole, anything going on at the library?
Yeah, in local library news. We started our winter reading program for kids, teens, and adults. The theme this year is all of the cozy feels, and we have some cool prizes because I chose them, and they're pretty cool. So please check out our website, our Facebook page, or drop in the library to sign up. But then I also wanted to let the community know about just larger Selco region-wide library news. So this goes back to December 2023. All of the library directors in Selco had a meeting, and we decided, well, we didn't decide, but we had been having long-standing issues with Horizon, which is our current library catalog database, which in library terms is called an ILS. And we told Selco, we can't do this anymore. It's a terrible database. It's so buggy. It's not very well maintained. We need something new. So all of last year, Selco did their duty, and they found us a new database. And we are now in the process of transferring our data from all of the libraries of southeastern Minnesota, and we're the northernmost one. All of the data, all of our books, all of our DVDs, all of our other ephemera, like our library has puppets that people can borrow, and the library patron information, that's all being migrated to a new system, and all of the library staff all over the southeastern Minnesota are now in training on this new database. So right now, it's just everything is going as normal. We just are spending more time on a computer learning a new system, and it's days and days worth of training. But then the go live date for the new database is May 1st. So that last week of April, and we expect the first few weeks of May, there are going to be hiccups in checking things out. So just so people are aware. And I'll be letting people know more of what's going on as we get closer. And then we've also been having issues with delivery of interlibrary loan from other libraries, and that's because the delivery company has been very inconsistent. So like a couple weeks ago, I drove down to Rochester to pick up our 7 bins because I just could not make my staff have to sort 10 to 12 bins in one day on a Monday. That's just absurd. So sometimes I might have to drive down to Rochester to go get bins, but just letting people know that there are delays in getting books from other libraries because of that. And yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you. Chief?
Jed stole my thunder. But he is right. If it does end up plowable, we want people to get off the roads. We don't want to have to tow cars, but we will because Public Works needs to be able to remove the snow from the roadway without delay. Thank
All
you.
right. Sarah?
I just wanted to update you. There is not going to be a planning commission meeting on Monday for lack of items.
All right. Thank you. John?
And thank you. I will quick touch on the public forum item because it fit within one discussions that we've had today. So on the data center with Tract, we're in the process right now of developing the scoping document. The public comment from the agencies that are involved in that is going on right now. And then in March, we'll get that back, and that will come to the council for approval. One of the items we discussed tonight was hoping to schedule a work session with the council. And I think the dates that work for Tract is to do something on March 4th. So if we could start maybe an hour earlier with a work session. And that will, and the intent of that is to go over the process for AUAR, talk about where are the dates for informational sessions, where, what those public comment periods, where can people go and submit those public comments, and what those, what periods work for different public comments. Try to kind of clarify this. So the AUAR is very much the environmental study. So if there's comments and issues related to environmental issues like water use and like, then those public comment periods will be where that issue is. The next phase of the project, or kind of running simultaneous, is the zoning side. So the intent is they will bring a planned unit development for this, so a PUD process for their zoning. And then, anything in terms of building, setbacks, those types of land use issues not related to the environment, that's where comment periods will come up for those public hearing process. So a lot more information than that they'll provide. Certainly give us a rundown of what that schedule looks like. So hopefully gives you the opportunity to know when and where you can provide those comments. And a lot more information will be coming. That was very much the tone of the meeting is, hey, we're here to provide answers to the questions, but we want to make sure that there are, let's say, bureaucratic processes that we have to follow. The AUARs are required from the state, so we have to make sure that those where the opportunity for those comments fall in the right place. So then, so that hopefully will be March 4th. We'll let you know if anything changes on that date, but likely one of the March meetings. Then I know we discussed earlier about having a strategic planning meeting with the council and I. I think we're running out of dates because my next point is eliminates a lot of time in February where I can participate. But if there's the opportunity that we can do that on February 24th, I'd like to have some feedback on that, if it's better to do something maybe during the day or early evening, but that would be the last Tuesday in February. I think it would be just good to kind of have that opportunity for us to all come together and talk about, just how best to work together as a council and administrator. And then I will be out of the office starting tomorrow through February 17th. Kind of had a planned, well before starting here, had a planned vacation with the family. So that lands in between these dates, and then just with the President's Day holiday and some other things that I need back in Little Falls, I'll be out for almost 2 full weeks.
Enjoy that vacation.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Laura?
I'm good.
Chris?
I'm good.
Ryan?
Good.
Diane?
Good.
Lisa?
We met with the trail board. They're gonna get their truck fixed. They were gonna first get a estimate down in Red Wing because they were towards that way when it died. And then they got a referral to go to Zimbrota to get it fixed, so that's where it ended up. And I recommended that they check Cannon Falls first. We're supposed to be supporting our town, so in the future, since the truck is already down in Zimbrota and it does not run or drive, they're gonna get fixed down there. And then in the future, they will check with Cannon Falls first.
All right. Thank you.
That's it.
Chad?
I'm good.
All right. I'll just be quick, but I want to thank John and Ryan and Ferlin Miller. I think that meeting was extremely fruitful. I think that we've gotten to, and thank the council for extending that 30 days. I think that in this time, the next item that comes before the Planning Commission and the council will be much more agreeable and maybe less contentious than we've been for the last couple of years. So I think that meeting helped to reset the stage, get us on the same page, and look for compromise instead of conflict. So again, thank you for your time. That was a very good meeting. So with that said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion from Diane,
Second.
second from Lisa. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.